All right, so here we are. We are today. We looks a little bit different because we have moved to the Fatherhood Foundation of Virginia's office. Our podcast studios, they still a work in progress. We got some decor to still do, but we appreciate them letting us use our space, and you can expect to see some podcasts from Kerst, the executive director, coming out in the next month or so as he started talking about dads and dads.
Yeah, I want to know more.
Like, you want to know more?
Because I see you post about, I've already, the name, Fatherhood. Let's see what I would say from my memory, from your talking about it. Fatherhood Foundation.
Yep.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
The name's on the poster beside you.
Oh, and the name is on the poster beside my face.
But she didn't cheat, Courtney. Not everybody's a cheater like you.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, that's just the easiest way to get a job done. I don't like.
Yeah, I am the person that uses ChatGPT to look up my son's 5th grade math problems. But
Same.
Here we are.
Yep.
So yeah, I want to know more about Fatherhood Foundation of Virginia. What is it? What is it about?
So that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. So the Fatherhood Foundation of Virginia is designed to make men stronger, especially in the parental role as dads, right? One of the issues that we see, and I don't have the stats memorized like Chris does, but when you start talking about fatherless homes and you start talking about drug addiction, you start talking about crime and jail rates and stuff like that, a lot of that can be skewed towards kids that grew up in a home that didn't have that role model. You know?
Of course.
And even if they had that, it wasn't the best role model, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so they just kind of followed the cycle versus breaking the cycle.
Yeah.
So the whole, and of course, you know, for lack of better words, one of the other issues becomes is that there's a lot of resources and focus on moms, rightfully so, not taking anything away from moms, right? But virtually nothing for dads, right?
Yeah, for sure. You hear when people put something out, they say mothers. So,
yeah, and you know, and there's certain things that, you know, not a lot bothers me, but there's a couple of things that bother me. But like when Father's Day comes around, right? You'll see all these moms post, you know, well, I guess this is my day too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you see that a lot, you know. And I get it. There's a lot of deadbeat dads out there, right?
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of dads that are there.
Yeah, want to
and
be
doing
there.
the thing.
Yeah.
And it's the jokes of, you know, like when my wife goes on a trip, you know, a conference, well, who's going to watch her kids? Their dad. Like,
right.
You know, like there's
the Kevin Hart movie.
Yeah, there's just this misconception or running joke that like dads can't take care of their kids, you know.
Right.
And it's not that dads can't take care of their kids, it's just that throughout them growing up, there's just two different roles. So, you know, my wife does handle a lot of the school stuff and the sports stuff and things like that, some of the sports stuff. But if something happens, not like I can't do it.
Right.
You know? So it's to help break the stigma.
Yeah.
It's to help get dads help when they need it. They do programs called New Dad 101, and they're in every hospital, I think, in Virginia now, where basically if you're going to be a dad, you can take this online class with a certified instructor from the foundation on what to expect, answer all the questions, you know, people who's gone through it. Because there were programs for moms, siblings, and grandparents in some hospital systems, but nothing for dads.
I never was offered a program, but keep going. Yeah. So who, and it's you said fatherless home. That's the second time I've heard that this week. I am a full-time single mom of my 2 boys. So we probably have 2 opposing data sheets.
Sure.
But I also, you know, before I was real estate, I was in the mental health field. I worked in inner city populations, also in just lower socioeconomic populations. And I mean, a large percentage was me working with moms and their kids. Yeah. And I was having a conversation with my friend the other day, and she said she stopped using like introducing her single mom friends as single moms, she said we should call it fatherless homes instead of single mother, mother families. And so that stuck with me. And I think that a lot of times both sides are burnt out on the stereotype that you were
100%.
talking about. And there's kind of two camps, and the camps aren't communicating.
Yeah.
And the kids are the ones who are getting affected by that.
They are.
So I think that there is growth in both sides for sure.
Oh, 100%. Kentucky, and I've not done the research or anything, but, just read the headlines. But I do know that Kentucky, I'm pretty sure, passed a law to where if you go in for a divorce, right, that you start off at 50-50.
Okay.
Like, that's the standard, 50-50 custody, right? And they've said they've actually seen the divorce rate go down in Kentucky.
Wow.
Whereas in Virginia and most other places, that when you go into that courtroom for a divorce, unless it's already predetermined because you're getting along with each other and all that other stuff, but if it's a contested divorce, most of the time the dad ends up at best with every other weekend, right? And all the things. And a lot of people are like, well, you need to fight for your kids. And the other side of that is, why do I need to fight for my kids? Like, I shouldn't have to. Not that I don't want to, but I shouldn't have to, right? Because they're my kids too. And again, there's definitely those situations where it's warranted. Because
my single mom book club group right now is like, Rachel, you better say something.
But you're right. Like, both sides want to take, like, it's the whataboutism, right?
Yeah.
And that's what this is, right? Like, if I say, hey, dads are struggling because they can't, they're fighting, they're spending all this money and the system's rigged against them, then it's like, well, that's because my kid's father's not in his life. Yeah. Okay. That sucks. Yeah. Right? But that's not the core problem that we're talking about, Right. Because you can't fix that. Right. You can't make somebody.
Well, they're probably not showing up for y'all's services either.
Right. We're not
I think we're talking about a different subgroup.
We are. We're talking about dads
guys that are calling y'all to get some support.
One of the other programs they have is called Inside Out. So they actually go into jails and they mentor people dads who are in jails on how to be a dad.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And how to reintegrate into their kids' life once they get out.
Because if you talk to them, I'm sure they grew up without a father in the home. Yep. So it's, if we're gonna, promote recovery and trauma and breaking cycles, then that's a big one with that whole process as well. Yeah,
and every year we do Father Christmas, which is for the last 10 years, I think. And it's grown from just Richmond to now Virginia Beach and Lynchburg, where we nominate in Richmond 25 deserving dads. And it's kind of like the Christmas Mother, Angel Tree, or whatever. Yeah. So we sponsored a family or a dad. We got the Christmas list. We went out, bought presents for the kids. They show up to meet Santa. They don't know why they're here. The dads don't know why they're here. They're just nominated. And it's deserving dads who just work hard all year. They just tough breaks, right? Yeah. Some of them, their wives, their spouses passed away. Kids gone through cancer, so they got medical bills. Yeah. They got laid off, whatever. And then when they see Santa, don't tell the kids, but it's Chris dressed up as Santa. He also gives them a $500.
He looks great.
Yeah, he totally fits that.
Yeah, he also gives
is amazing.
He also gives them a $500 check, so they can do whatever they want with. Right.
Nice.
And that's usually pretty emotional because you see a lot of grown men get teary-eyed,
Yeah.
as they're doing that.
I mean, everybody needs somebody that believes in them.
Yeah. So all that to say, going back to the single mom thing, there's a lot of resources out there for single moms. Yeah. And they've made their own groups, like the, was it MOPS group or whatever, Mom of Preschool Age Kids.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a little social group, right? Okay. That pops up. So there's a lot of different groups, Facebook groups, things like that. And
for sure. Yeah.
And there's just nothing out there really as in your face as that, right?
Yeah,
Like,
y'all found a problem and created a
book
solution.
clubs, wine clubs, all these different things that moms, right?
Yeah.
Used to get together and support each other, and that's great. But for dads, it's like, well, I go to work, I come home. You know, go to work, I come home.
I feel that.
Yeah, so they carry a lot of weight that people just don't realize. You know, and then again, you got all this constant stereotypes that you're also battling too.
Yeah.
And in the last 10 years, let's be honest, we don't know what a man or a dad is supposed to look like because we've been told by all different sides what that's supposed to be, right? You're too toxic or you're too masculine. You're not masculine enough. You know, show your emotions. Don't show your emotions. You know,
all confusing.
Yeah, very confusing, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody knows what we're supposed to do anymore.
Right.
Show up, don't show up. So it's like what, and there's a whole lot of things that go into that, like a lot of research that's been done in the last few generations about, you know, how that boomerang is coming back and that there's a younger generation of women that's like, I can't find a man that can change a tire.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, that's kind of what you wanted, you know, for a while. You know,
is it? I mean,
sometimes.
You know, and then my thing is
not
we
you.
don't need to spend the whole podcast. I mean, we could, but you know, and it's like everything you're saying, I'm like trying not to have RBF and emotional impulsive response. Because I'm so biased in this subject. But when I get out of my own, you know, personal bias with this topic, I do, you know, we're two different genders that come with two different alignments. And if we keep just butting heads, then... you know, who is that gonna make a better life for? So even this conversation may be uncomfortable and like parts of my brain are like firing off, but I think it's so necessary. It
is, because I mean, at the end of the day, like I got a son and I got a daughter, right?
Yeah.
And if something were to happen with my wife, you know, whether something tragic, she finds somebody else, she disappears, whatever.
What do you...
It'd be hard to find another man. I'm just saying, this is my ploy of this conversation. It'd be hard to, I love that you are standing in your role of having this discussion. I think women are frustrated and we have, you know, moved over to like fulfilling that masculine and feminine role because lack of support for a very long time. But I also have a super healthy brother. Yeah. I work with a super healthy, I'm not saying perfect. I'm saying super healthy boss. You know, and I've worked, you know, you've been a colleague of mine. So my pastor, he's a, you know, my father. So I see the need for well-adjusted men, you know?
Yeah, and like I said, it's both sides. Because like I said, if something were to happen, you know, both my kids need their mom.
Yeah.
They need, my daughter definitely needs that woman role as she's getting older, right? Not saying I can't fill in and do the best I could, but it's not the same.
I like the word partnership.
Yeah, so, and that's the other side of it. Like, the kids need their dad too, right? Or they need whatever you want to call it, even if it's not their dad, that role model, right?
Fatherly figure. A fatherly figure.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely both sides of the street need to be there for sure.
Yeah. And what I love and what I've seen from afar of I'm looking at the poster now, Fatherhood Foundation of Virginia, and just through you is, and I've seen it on, you know, social media, some great guys, they're creating space that the strong, well-adjusted men of today's world aren't just saying, I'm responsible for my family and that's where it ends. You guys are really stepping into the light and filling the space for other families that don't have that person. Yeah. And I just think that's so great. Yeah. There's a guy on social media, And that's his whole page is about like, I'm going to teach you today how to change a tire. Yeah. I'm going to teach you today how to, he's just being a virtual male role model for the world. And I just think that's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not about like, taking back things and, women aren't important and, not validating the struggles that single moms and women have had with, again, deadbeat dad, whatever you want to call it, right? Right. It's just trying to build up men to realize like, hey, you have a role to play here too, right? Yeah. Like you need to step up. These are the resources. Just like, you're looking at the poster, like the Fatherhood Foundation provides counseling, right? And, because they want marriages to work out.
Right.
It's not trying to make single dads.
Right? Yeah.
We're trying to make those partnerships, right? And make it last and realize that don't ever stay married just for the kids, but realize it's important that kids have both parents in their lives and that the man or the father is just as important as the mother.
It is. My mom and I just had a conversation pretty similar to this, where she was talking about how she told her fiance now, when they first started dating, that he better pump her gas. And that's like something like she's like, I dated this guy and he didn't do that. And I went off on him, but he had a single mom. So he'd never seen he'd never seen that. He didn't know that that was something. Yeah, but good on your
mom of communicating her expectations because so many times we fail in relationships because nobody is saying this is what exactly I need from you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so if we don't, and we can segue this into real estate, if we're not communicating our expectations, not just once, but over and over again, then we can only be upset with ourselves if somebody's not reaching those.
Yeah. And then you just get more and more frustrated, and then until you blow up.
Everybody's frustrated.
Everybody's frustrated. I was super frustrated. It was like, I'm 40. If I open my phone, algorithm is showing me perimenopause, perimenopause and how to do my makeup for 40 plus women. That's what's really being, highlighted to me right now. Huh?
There are tutorials for what type of, sorry, I'm confused about this makeup stuff.
Yes, of all ages, but right now I'm being targeted.
For 40, what's the difference between...
Well, I'll tell you.
Are you putting blue eyeshadow on? Is that what they're telling you?
Well, I will say, no. Just like less is more. Less is more. I feel like we've gotten away from because a couple of years ago, like COVID, we were at home doing the most makeup.
The makeup look, the 2016 look is coming back around apparently.
What is that? Less? Like less is more?
It's like the full beat face.
What?
How do I explain this?
Hold on, just say the word over again.
A full beat face.
Beat?
Like red?
Like when you do your foundation, you have to like tap it on. It's a full face. Yeah.
A full face of makeup. See, you're younger. They're still telling you guys to pile it on. They're telling me and my ladies to do less.
That whole thing. But just recently, since 2026, the trend on, especially on TikTok now, is bringing back those 2016 memes and looks and.
Well, I am entering into perimenopause, so they're probably telling me not to put a bunch of makeup on because we'll just sweat it off.
That's why you got to get a good setting spray.
Listen, we could talk about that all day. But, so I am, I just lost my whole train of thought on, I thought you said
Good job, Courtney.
Yeah, I thought you
said. My bad. Makeup got brought up. What do you expect from me?
What were we talking about?
Communication.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I even lost that. But
fully
You're gonna
derailed
have
my
to edit
dad.
that out.
Our little makeup talk.
We're leaving it all in.
What?
Leaving it all in.
That's the best part.
Oh.
So it's going to be funny if somebody listens to this podcast. I've already put the post out, but it was a trend. I didn't originate it, but I did a Valentine's Day post before I came here, and I ran into the office this morning and went into our inside sales agent's office and was like, who wants to be in a video? And they're the inside sales, so they don't normally, they sit on the phone all day and don't see daylight.
Yeah.
So for them to be my extra on my crazy social media post, they're like, all right, Rachel. And I'm like, come on. But I did one for Valentine's Day, and it was like me opening the door as she's like my client.
Yeah.
And I was like, does he open the door for you? And then I like turn with this serious face and I go, I do.
Yeah.
So now we're like segueing like women act like they don't need men anymore. And I just did a whole post for it. And I was like, if he can't do it, I will. That literally was the closing shot. And I was like, happy Valentine's Day. Call me if you're buying or selling in Central Virginia.
Speaking of that, my two friends, Ashley and Charnice, Ashley has a boyfriend down in Florida, so they can't really celebrate Valentine's Day. So she's like, I'm going to ask Charnice to be my Valentine. Because Charnice just went through a breakup.
Okay.
So she sent this. She's like, should I send this in like the group chat or personal? And I was like, put it in the group chat because I want to see it. I want to see how she did it. And I'm so glad. I'm so thankful I told her to do that because it's hysterical.
So it's her asking her out for Valentine's Day?
For Valentine's Day, yeah. So she said, Charnice, my beautiful, stunning, desirable, breathtaking babe. I know it's a little late, but I wanted to let you know that you are the avocado to my toast, the peanut butter to my jelly. Please don't be allergic. The cherry to my ice cream, and that I will never desert you.
That's good.
Will you please be my Valentine? We would make a great pair.
Oh, y'all are so young and hydrated.
Yes.
That's not on my feed.
No.
Or my group text.
No.
I will die before someone reads my group text with my best friends because it's not like that.
No.
It is not that lovey-dovey.
Probably get canceled.
Yeah.
I was
real quick.
I was so happy when I read that. I was like, thank God I told her to put that in the group chat because that's hysterical to me. That was really funny.
No, that's good. We need you, Courtney, to remind us of the days of having energy and, putting that effort in. But now you're like, I could think of 52 things better to do than wait for a table at a restaurant this weekend.
100%. And just to pay twice as much for the same food as today because it's Valentine's Day.
That's right.
The Valentine's Day menu.
Yeah.
It's the same steak you normally have, but it's $20 more. That's cool.
I'm going to order myself some Uber Eats. I wonder if that will be increased.
It's gotta be increased.
I'm sure.
Probably.
Everything's
that's
increased.
that, what do they call it? Like the peak.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like they're doing with the toll booths
holidays.
now. Yeah. Peak hours, right?
I hate tolls.
Fluctuating pricing. Yeah.
Oh, see, they could charge me $5 million because I have the thing. I have the Smart Pass.
And you wouldn't even know.
I have the Smart Pass.
Yeah.
And I never know if it's fraud or if it's real when I get a text that says I need to put more money in my account.
Yeah.
But I listen. And so either, someone overseas is getting my payment and I've just been blowing through the toll booth like a criminal.
I don't think they do that in Richmond, but if you go to Northern Virginia, you'll see that the prices of the tolls change throughout the day. So peak hours, if you want to do the HOV lanes where they do the tolls, then you can pay a lot more during peak hours than you do when there's no traffic on.
Well, everybody's trying to make $1.
Especially the
I can
government.
understand it.
Especially the government.
I can understand it. I wonder how I implement that into my business.
That's right. That's right. Well,
Oh, you really
Every
wanna see that
time you
home
open a
tonight?
door, every time you open a door,
yeah.
Too bad. We get paid at the end.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if I show 5 million homes. I'm only getting paid if I hand them a key.
every time you open a door, you gotta have like an iPad that says like tip.
You
And then the tip
should.
percentage.
That's
should flip it around.
probably illegal for my
Only if you tell people.
Oh, I just hold it?
Only if they find out that you did that.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
only
a-
illegal if you get caught.
Well,
Yeah.
how I lived my life for
That's
so
the
many years.
podcast episode name right there. It's only illegal if you get caught.
Yeah.
Will we get caught?
Yeah.
Who will know?
Yeah.
Continuing
Between
on.
me and my sponsor, those days are behind me.
Good to know.
I've come so far.
Yes,
I've
yes.
come really so far.
Yep.
So what were we going to talk about? We were going to talk about, I feel like when I speak with any industry partnership, so home inspectors, lenders, they know that I've been around for a little bit and am in a coaching, teaching role now, and they're like, hey, how are ya? Do you think, just because we're like comfortable with each other, the next time you do a class, could you tell this to your new agents? And I'm like,
Yes,
okay, noted.
Yes.
So you're frustrated.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
let's talk about this, which I love, because if we're not talking about it,
Yeah.
then how do we fix it?
For sure. So, for those that don't know, I don't advertise it a lot because I don't care that much, but I got a little piece of paper. It doesn't hang on the wall. I just found it the other day in a closet for the first time in a couple of years, but it's a master's degree in leadership.
Really?
Yeah, and organizational leadership and management.
Hold on, back up. Hold on. So I went to grad school, undergrad and graduate school. So I know what master's means in like that sense. So is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So I had no idea that was a thing.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot more in the last 10 years, a lot of leadership management master's degrees. So it's basically a spinoff of MBA.
Okay.
So that's what it is.
That's why your business does so well. I knew.
'cause
And
I'm
you know,
here,
every
actually.
single one of your employees, and I don't get paid to say this, every single one of your employees talks about, yeah, I've worked for other companies, or I could go work for other companies, but Sid is an amazing leader. And that really is what makes people stay and grow with companies.
It is. I've always said you teach people how to go off on their own, but you treat them so they can stay.
Right.
Right. And almost everybody in real estate agencies, brokerages are really bad about that first part.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to teach their agents to go.
Right.
And if they do go, they don't treat them so well.
Right.
So they don't come back if
Right.
it doesn't work out. To where I've told all of them, I was like, hey, I'm the only one that's going to be here when it's done, right? If you want to go off and do your own thing, great. I'll help you however I can. If it doesn't work out, you got a spot to come back to as long as you didn't screw up.
Right. Yeah.
But through the masters, through being in the Navy, working on a flight deck, fire department, all those things, communication is always, anytime there's a failure anywhere, communication's either a primary or a secondary problem, right? Most of the time it's a primary problem.
Yeah.
Now it could be a primary problem because of, with 5 other things. In the fire department, anytime there's a line of duty death, meaning that a firefighter was killed doing the job, right? Mm-hmm. And every now and then, I don't remember what the criteria is, but NIOSH, National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, will come into the department and they will investigate the death.
Okay.
Right? Not so much to give fines or anything, but, what happened to cause this failure.
Right.
And they go through training records, they go through the recordings, they go through all the things, the reports, all the things. And every single NIOSH report that comes out, communication is a primary most of the time, if not a secondary.
Wow.
As a as a means to what happened. Why did this happen?
Yeah.
So, and that's the same thing in real estate. It's the same thing in any other business. Failures happen. Maybe there's other things, inexperience, whatever, but communication is always part of that.
100%.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. So that's why my guys and girls, and Courtney can tell you, well, she doesn't pay attention to the Slack app that much, but one of the biggest things I say at almost every meeting we have, communicate to the agents, communicate to the clients. If they call you with questions, call them back. Right?
Over-communicate.
Yeah. That's why we have these automated emails that come out all the time and all the things, because that's the number one thing that keeps us out of trouble. Communicate. People just want information. So,
yeah. If they find a hole,
yep.
And they feel like they've experienced a loss, they will literally find that one day that you had to take off.
Yes.
And will say, right here, this is it, right here. Yeah. You did not tell me something.
Yeah.
And maybe it doesn't on paper get you in trouble, or you can fix it with, unfortunately giving up some of your commission for a credit or whatever. But really what it does what's so profound with me is I am so diligent on, I work for the deal, but I work for the relationship.
Yeah.
And if my client at the end of the day feels like I didn't give them 5-star customer service, I don't care if it is the lowest price point or the highest price point. I personally take that. That hurts me.
Sure.
Because I got into this industry to help people reach their goals, and I'm a people pleaser. Yeah. So if somebody feels that I didn't listen, or, people want to feel seen and heard. And if I don't do that at the end of the day, then I have failed in my job.
Right. Yeah. I get that, because you're 100% right. Like, you didn't respond to this and at 10 o'clock at night, and I don't have all the information.
And it doesn't matter. And I have always been really good about not giving excuses.
Yeah.
Clients are trusting us with one of the largest investments that they'll make. And it is my job, even though real estate, it bleeds over personal, professional, it's both. If my client doesn't need to know that, I didn't reach that deadline for you because I had a sick kid.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying I have to be like, superhuman. I can say, hey, I told you I was going to get that to you in 48 hours. This came up. Would it be okay if I got it to you tomorrow?
Yeah, again, communication.
Right. But if I am not communicating, the biggest thing I see is agents will spend all this time getting prepared to list a home. And they get it on the market, and it's like they're talking to the seller over and over again, and then they get it on the market. It doesn't sell in that first or 2 weeks, and then they get nervous. And this is not a conversation about like people are intentionally evil and doing bad things to others. This is the human response system. Is I told you that we should list your house at this price, and I'm going to do all this marketing, and it should go under contract in the first weekend. And when it doesn't, because at first they didn't set realistic expectations and have a plan B, they kind of ghost the whole transaction because they like internalize it and are like, oh no, I wasn't good. I didn't do something right. And that negative hamster wheel starts turning. Yeah. And then instead of taking a breath, saying, I'm not God, I don't have to be.
Right.
I'm a human. I did all the things to say, this is where we should price your house. This is what we should do. It didn't go under contract like I thought it was. This is what we should do now. I know, so I've gotten listings from, sellers that had listed before with another agent, and they said, we just didn't hear from them again. And it's like, oh, and your house was listed? Yeah, we didn't, after the first 2 weeks, we didn't hear from them. And it's like, if you're not having weekly conversations, then a lot can get lost, and people want to feel loved.
Yeah.
And, we as humans go out of, we respond out of fear or love. Mm-hmm. And if you're not paying attention to people and communicating on a regular basis, then they're going to start living in that fear. And the fear comes frustration, anger, all of the sad face feeling wheel.
Yeah.
Pictures. And then you're trying to like meet with the seller after you haven't talked to them in 2 weeks because you're scared and you've lost your confidence, and you're like, hey, we got an offer 20,000 under. And then it's like, you might as well just quit.
just quit. Just quit, hang it up.
Because you've lost the relationship.
Yeah.
You've lost the rapport.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, if you want to know, because it's funny you brought up how you get calls from the vendors, right?
Yeah.
Say, hey, could you talk about this? And the funny thing is because agents don't want to hear from us, right? I don't know how many times Courtney sent out emails and phone calls like, hey, we're happy to do training, we'd love to tell you about all this stuff, and don't get a response back. And then
same. And I'm in the industry.
Yeah. But if you want to know the biggest problems that we deal with, or the biggest what we see as far as issues with realtors and whatnot, call a home inspection company and talk to the office, because they're on the phone all the time. So going back to what you were saying about the communication thing, it's like we did 1,500 inspections last year, and the thing that I'm always getting feedback on, agent calls the office, calls it back, no answer, doesn't respond to email, doesn't respond to text, over and over and over again. And then we deal with the clients, and the client's like, well, yeah, my agent didn't tell me this. My agent didn't tell me this, And
hold on, so the agent is calling the office, and then y'all are calling them back, and they're not answering?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's not even just that. It's just like, hey, inspectors running late because of whatever, right?
Yeah,
First one ran too long, traffic, whatever.
Right.
Crickets. It's like, here we go.
My insulin.
Here we go.
We'll have to edit that out too.
A lot of editing today.
Yeah, lots of editing.
I don't even think I hear it.
I can.
My mechanical pancreas is saying, pay attention to me. See, communication.
Communication. Yeah.
It will stop in a second.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Okay?
I mean, that's the biggest
live?
issue that we deal with.
Okay.
Is
I didn't want to have to call an ambulance.
It's twofold.
I've been a type 1 for too long for ambulances.
Okay.
One is there's, for some agents, there's just no communication there.
Yeah.
And then
what do you think?
I don't know.
You've dealt with enough agents now.
And it's not
what's your gut tell you?
And it's not a demographic.
Ooh,
It's not a generational problem. It's not a demographic. It's across the board. You have some agents that are really good at it, and then you get an agent on the same exact team, and it's like, man, this is pulling teeth just to get a hold of you. We got some questions here.
So, I mean, I was that agent, but that's when I had a major alcohol problem. And so, I mean, you witnessed my communication. I'm like a different person, right?
Yeah.
Since I've gotten sober.
Yeah.
And so that's why I asked, because I'm always, not that I'm like going scream. we're like going to start breathalyzing agents now at home inspections.
They're all alcoholics.
They're all alcoholics. Yeah. But, you know, speaking for myself, when early in my career, I had very young children. I, like I just said, had a very unhealthy relationship with alcohol. And, you know, I was doing the best at that time in my life. Sure. But I look back and I feel like I should send out I'm sorry cards because, and I guess that, you know, was part of like making amends, but, I sucked at times.
Yeah, but there's like underlying issues to cause that, right? Right, wrong, or indifferent. Yeah. There was. So, I mean, we always joke about realtors, you know, love to drink. But the amount of issues that we have on a daily basis, not like a weekly or a monthly or annual, like a daily basis of trying to communicate and get information, is not because the industry is 80% full-blown alcoholic, right?
I don't know. I feel like agents, at least with my little experience, is like they're always doing something. Their calendar is always like full of stuff. So I feel like maybe
it's a priority issue.
Yes. It is a priority issue.
Because that makes sense. Because and so you're not realizing, hey, like you have an inspection going on, right? Because we've been on site where we've needed something from the list agent. List agent had to approve this. You know we're here. Right. So when the buyer's agent's calling you because we need permission to do something, you know, crack open a lock, maybe the jetted tub's leaking and raining down on the first floor. Yeah. You know, maybe there's a tenant there that was surprised. Yeah. And you don't answer. Like,
I wonder before we started this, we looked up, because I spoke about it last podcast, and I was like, I don't know if I'm making this number up. We looked it up. It said 70 to 80% of agents don't renew their license after the first year. I wonder, now talking about this, I wonder how many part-time agents have their license because they're at another job. And
that's a problem. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're at another job.
It's just being too busy.
I also think it is there's agents and there's entrepreneurs. So, and I don't know if I even said that. I felt like I had an accent, like a French accent when I just said
there was something going on.
I was just speaking with another agent at my office before coming here. You come in, especially our brokerage, we have a lead model. So the business, you know, we set it up so a brand new agent can come in and sell a home in the first 30 days. Because when we started, it was like this problem, right? It was like, okay, I can't quit my job because I can't close on a house and be a brand new agent for 6 months. Right. I can't do that. Right. I have bills to pay. And so we created this lead model so you could get your license, come to us. We will give you all of the opportunity to go out, show homes, and get something under contract in the first 30 days. And so with that, we also created the churn and burn, right? Yeah. So it's like, what's in front of me, not what have I done already. Mm-hmm. Let me nurture that. Yeah. So it's like this churn and burn, like what's in front of me. If I met that buyer and they're not ready to move in 30 days, then I'm not going to call them back. I'm going to take another lead. And we're trying to like fix that monster right now, because it creates a lead dependent agent instead of a business owner. Yeah. And when you're a business owner, you are making sure that you're not doing your follow-up at 8 p.m. with your computer in your bed. Right. Like you're going to an office. You're the large majority of my day is spent in sitting down now, not driving around, but sitting down and like follow up, responding to referral partners, because it's a business. It's not just a quick opportunity.
100%. I think one of the issues also, speaking of, like the newer agents and all that stuff, is when I decided to be a home inspector, like I looked around, right? Because there is a thing as market saturation.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like how much business out there, how many inspectors out there, how many homes are sold, blah, blah, blah. And most people who go in business do the same thing. If I want to open up a barbecue place, how many other barbecue places are around here?
Right.
Right. The market can only handle so much of each industry. If I'm going to do restoration, how many restoration companies are out there? Right. All right, well, there's 100. Can it handle 101?
Yeah.
Or maybe I need to go to a bigger area, and I don't think agents do that. There's so many agents that's just like, I just got my license.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not busy. Well, yeah, there's 7,000 of you around here.
Right.
So
it'll take a little bit more than who on the PTA.
Yeah. So
that runs up real quick.
Yeah. So I don't think agents, I say agents, but I think some people it's like on a whim. There's not a lot of looking into it, right?
Well, that's what I'm
Is
going
this
back
a
to
viable
the part-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it? Are you getting your license as a secondary?
Yeah.
And
it's how you're treating it. I was talking to somebody on the way over here, and he said he's had several meetings over the last couple of months with other business owners and whatnot, and for whatever reason they reach out to him. Hey, can you meet? Sure. And he's like, yeah, we're failing and we're losing money and blah blah blah. And the issue in all three of those cases were each of these businesses were part-time business for that individual because they had a full-time job, but they were trying to build it and treat it and expect full-time benefits and returns from it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that.
Right.
We own a mobile bartending business. It's a part-time business.
Yeah.
We treat it as such. Right. It's not meant to be a full-time business for us.
Right.
It's just for fun.
Yeah.
Because making drinks is fun.
Yeah.
Right.
I've heard.
And the profit margins are stupid.
With alcohol.
Well, we don't even buy the alcohol. That's the best part.
You're dropping the trailer off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but again, I'm not expecting to make $80,000 a year on that each. Right. Because you're
looking at it as more of like a little bit more than passive income.
Yeah,
but
it's like, hey, this pays for our vacations.
Yeah.
Pays for Christmas, whatever. So I think a lot of these people are going into it thinking like, hey, this is my full-time, like I need, this is my full-time job.
Yeah. But
it's really part-time.
Right.
you got to make a decision.
Well, and right. It's just about, there's so many things. There's so many things. There really is. And I am trying to, it's like every day I'm constantly listening and trying to educate myself to know more and do things better. Because I actually love my kids and do want to spend time with them.
Sure.
And for so many years, it's been all business. Yeah. And now I am like, all right, what would it look like if you got home before dark?
Right.
Let's think about how much money you're going to pay in therapy if you don't start spending more time with your kids and showing up. And so I'm really trying to just like make meaningful communication.
Yeah.
Stay on task and, do the best that I can. And when I mess up, say it immediately. I overstepped on something in my office yesterday, and I like 3 seconds. I was like, once I got over in my head, like, you big dummy, why did you open your mouth and do that? I immediately went up to the person and I went, hey, that was super selfish of me. I hope that you can forgive me for that.
Yeah.
And they were like, looked at me like I was crazy. Like, of course, but it was that easy.
Yeah.
Instead of I don't know, just going down the rabbit hole and being a dummy and not communicating.
That's right.
And letting it go. And then, you know what I mean? It's just.
Yeah. And I don't know what goes on in your real estate schools, right? I know it's like 5 days. I know that they cover how many feet in an acre. But
not practical things.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was like a school.
Oh, yeah. You've got to.
I mean, it's a 5-day.
I don't know why I thought it was like a test.
It is a test.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a test at the end.
There's 2 tests.
But you got to go to school to get the test.
Yeah, you go to school, and then you take their test, and then you go sit for the state test.
Yeah. But if I was in charge, I would revamp the entire curriculum. And communications and understanding how important that communication is would be a priority.
Right. And a lot of people, they get their license and then go to these kind of like big box brokerages that you're one of thousands and there's no sales coaches. And that's scary to me.
Well, and the other thing is, and this is a whole nother rabbit hole, is, the whole model isn't set up for that kind of success. I say that because you're a 1099, but you're a 1099 and you're only attached to one brokerage, right? Which goes against really, I mean, I know there's like some exceptions with real estate, but like I can't do 1099 employees because I require too much of my employees, right?
Okay.
But with that being said, you can't physically make them attend training and do anything, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if you're not getting that stuff in the mandated school, you have to.
If they don't show up, then they're not getting it.
To at least set that foundation of, hey, this is what's important.
Yeah.
So when you go out to your brokerages and stuff like that, and they're offering this training, and you need to show up.
Yeah.
Then how are they supposed to know?
Listen, I spent the first 2 years of having my license not really making money, so I showed up and just sat in the brokerage so I could listen to the established agents. And I didn't have an ego, and I was like listening to how they handled phone calls. I listened how they communicated with their buyers and sellers, and that was really how I had my foundation start with real estate. Yeah.
And there's 1,000 ways to do this. There's people that will make 200 calls a day.
Yeah.
They're successful. There's people that don't make a single cold call.
Yeah.
And they're successful. So but you have to attend these things to figure out which one's best for you.
Right.
Or take bits and pieces out of everybody. But again, it's just about going in there and actually showing up and doing it. Versus like you were talking about earlier, I don't remember if we were recording or not, where was it the lender was talking to you or the title company and like, hey, like they're just staring at me.
He was like, whoa, how you explain that was, I'm going to use that. And I always tell people the only reason why I explain it like that is because I heard it I put pieces of, verbiage together and form my own formula. But yeah, I'm teaching a class in 2 weeks of kind of like how to future pace your clients into knowing what is the next step. So when you get there, it doesn't fall apart.
Right.
And that's part of communication.
Yeah. And there's just so many agents when they're new. Again, back to, 1099 and just show up when you want.
Yeah.
Is they wait till they're in the moment to figure it out. I don't know how many
and they're
times.
Emotional.
Yeah. Like I've showed up at an inspection and I've told this before, agent walks in, client walks in, agent's like, this is my first time.
Oh gosh.
Don't say the quiet part out loud.
Right. Don't say the quiet part out loud. That's great.
That doesn't instill, like, the agent's asking me more questions than the client, which is fine, but you're asking it in front of the client.
Yeah, you're freaking people out, dude.
Yeah, like now I'm the agent, and I have no business being the agent, right? Like I know enough to get me in trouble, but you know, but that's the kind of thing. Like, hey, I love educating new agents. Time and place, though. Like, if this is your first one, you should probably call me beforehand.
Right. I heard a quote. I don't know who said it, but they said the most successful leaders are people that never stop learning from other people. And that is, I just get super excited about hearing people. Like, I want to surround myself around people that are doing it bigger and better than I am and are willing to not gatekeep and show me the way. Yeah. And you're not going to get there if you're not in the room and having a conversation.
You know, there's a quote that I like that says, you know, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
That's right.
You know, and I've had several people like, because when you get your home inspector license in Virginia, you got to do your ride-alongs, right? 25 or 50 shadow inspections. Right. And it's really hard because you can't find anybody that's willing to do it. Yeah. Because, like, why don't I want to train my competition? Where I'm just the opposite. I've had numerous home inspectors call me and ask me questions about things. Right. And I've had other home inspectors like, why would you tell them that? I'm like, why do I care? I was like, if you're good at what you do, you're going to eat.
That's right.
Right? 2, I can tell you all the things I do for me to be successful all day long. And there's 2 things. 1, it has to work for you. Yeah. You know, 2, you have to implement it. Yeah. Sure. Like you have to be able to do it, right? So if you don't do either one of those 2 things, then, you know, that's not a me problem.
That's right.
So it's not going to affect my business. But at the end of the day, it's not going to affect my business anyways because, like I said, we're good at what we do. We're going to make sure we get ours. But yeah, this whole hoarding information, it's just
that's a thing of the past.
Yeah, like why are we doing that? Yeah,
just fear.
Yeah, it's that scarcity mindset.
Yeah,
you know, like you're saying earlier that agents are scared because you know it's a little bit slower.
Yeah,
the gatekeeping.
Yeah, the gatekeeping. It's scarcity. All of those words of like, if I share, then there's not going to be enough for me. Yeah, and it's just not. You know, I'm a believer. It's just not how I've been taught, and when you give, you get, and it's worked out for me.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about a lot of random things today.
We have.
Hopefully, it makes sense.
We don't have ADHD.
We do not. Not at all.
Squirrel.
Not at all. But I appreciate you coming by for our second podcast. I
like a new space.
I appreciate we got to talk about the foundation a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and some of the issues that both single moms and dads face. That's right. But if you want to know more, vadad.org is the website. Learn more about the foundation, support it, be part of it. They do things like this will be aired after, but you know, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Yes. And they're doing like 2 different date nights that you can sign up for. One of them's like go to Green Top, shoot some rounds, get a $50 gift card, and go to the restaurant at Bass Pro Shops.
Not with your baby mama, though. We're not shooting rounds with your baby. I know y'all are trying to promote healthy relationships here.
Not at them, no. And you can't use pictures of them either. So
let's get some guns and bring 2 opposing parents together and see how that goes.
Therapy.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And then the other one, I forget what the other one was. I only showed the shooting to my wife, and she's like, no, we're not doing that. But both of them were like, one of them's tonight, one of them's like during the day tomorrow, so that way it doesn't interfere with actual Valentine's Day night, you know. Right. But anyways, a lot of different events, they do that throughout the year to help, again, keeping people together.
Yeah, I love it.
So yeah, hopefully you got something from it, and if not, then I'm sorry you wasted an hour of your life.